So let's talk about the different types of flour and what actually sets them apart from each other. All-purpose flour contains about 10 to 12% protein and is honestly the most versatile type. It's suitable for a wide range of baking tasks like cookies, cakes, and breads. Bread flour has a higher protein content, around 12 to 14%, which helps develop more gluten. This makes it ideal for yeast breads and pizza dough that really require structure and a nice chew. Cake flour has a low protein content, somewhere between 7 and 9%, and a very fine texture. This results in soft, tender cakes with a delicate crumb. Pastry flour, well, it actually falls between cake and all-purpose flour in terms of protein, usually about 8 to 9%. It's really great for making pies, muffins, and those wonderfully tender baked goods. Whole wheat flour retains both the bran and the germ, which gives it a higher protein content, around 13 to 14%, and of course more nutrients. It tends to produce denser, more flavorful baked goods. Self-rising flour is essentially all-purpose flour with baking powder and salt already added in. It's quite convenient for quick breads and pancakes, but just so you know, it's not suitable for yeast recipes. Rye flour has a low gluten content, usually around 6 to 8%, and a distinct earthy flavor. It's commonly used in rye and sourdough breads, and it produces a denser texture compared to wheat flour. 00 flour, a finely milled Italian flour with a medium protein content of about 11 to 12%, is used for pizza and pasta. It creates a soft, elastic dough that's just perfect for thin crusts. Gluten-free flours such as almond, coconut, oat or rice flour really do vary in protein and texture. They don't contain gluten at all and are ideal for people with celiac disease or gluten intolerance. Semolina flour is a coarse flour made from durum wheat. It's actually quite high in protein, around 12 to 13%, and is used mainly for making pasta and couscous. Now let's talk about the healthiest flours you can choose. First up, whole wheat flour. This one contains the bran, germ, and endosperm, so it's high in fiber, B-complex, vitamins, and minerals. You can use it to replace part of the all-purpose flour in your recipes for a healthier result. Next up, almond flour. It's gluten-free and, well, it's high in protein and healthy fats, but low in carbs. This makes it a really good choice for people following low-carb or keto diets. The downside, though, is that you can't just swap it for wheat flour 1-to-1 without changing the texture quite a bit. Now let's talk about oat flour. It's also gluten-free as long as it's certified. Oat flour is high in soluble fiber, especially beta-glucan, which is great because it helps with cholesterol and digestion. Alright, so moving on to the less healthy flours. These are best used sparingly. So let's talk about white refined flour, like all-purpose, cake or 00. This type of flour is, heavily processed, really low in fiber, and it's been stripped of most of its nutrients. The effect, well, it tends to spike your blood sugar, doesn't keep you feeling full for long, and it's actually linked to weight gain and inflammation. Next up is self-rising flour. It's basically premixed with baking powder and salt, which means you have less control over what goes into your recipe. Plus, it's not exactly nutrient dense either. So, which should you use more often? Well, it's best to go for whole wheat, oat, almond, and other whole grain or nut-based flours. These options offer more fiber, help regulate your blood sugar better, and honestly, they support both digestive and heart health. So which should you avoid or limit? Well, it's best to limit refined flours such as white flour, cake flour, and 00 flour. The reason is they offer low nutrition, have a high glycemic index, and are just so easy to overeat. Right, so here's a final tip for you. For your health, try mixing whole wheat or oat flour into your recipes. It's a simple way to boost nutrition. When it comes to baking, use all-purpose or bread flour if you need structure. Just remember to balance it out with whole grain options whenever you can. If you're following a gluten-free diet, your best bet is to use blends of almond, coconut, oat and rice flours. But don't forget to add binding agents, Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe if you found this helpful.